What's going on, y'all? I'm sorry for the lateness. I understand that I am roughly about 5 minutes behind scheduled time. With me saying that this is going to get started at 12:30. It is currently 12:35 Eastern Standard Time here on the good December 20th, 2019. Welcome to another edition of Trucking with Loshawnparks. You guys could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I truly do appreciate that. Real quickly, before I get into my spill, I just want to let you guys know that this video will be roughly about an hour long. So if you are catching this in the beginning or catching this on the replay side of it, this video will be about an hour long. I'm gonna try to run through this as quickly as possible. I do this live feed as quickly as possible because I only have about an hour to spare. So please do bear with me. King D-Raj in the building. What's going on? See you first one to comment, so I appreciate that. What's going on, Gary Buster? Red K Hall in the building as well. Moderators, thank you guys for being here. If you guys do see any comment that is deemed unnecessary or disrespectful, rude, please do make sure that you do block and bounce the individual out of here. All right, we don't play no games. Shadow Wolf, I see you in the building. We don't play no games over here. We're not gonna play with you. We're not gonna accept disrespect. We're not gonna accept any of that. So here lately, a lot of people have been saying, and can you guys hear me? Somebody give me a mic check real quick. I didn't even check that to even find out because I would hate to be talking and nobody can hear what I'm saying. Is everything good? TB in the building. What's going on, Trucker Brown? Sound is good? All right, thanks, critic. All right, so a lot of people have been commenting on my videos telling me that, get to the point, okay? First and foremost, let me say it's my channel. I get to the point when I feel like getting to the point, okay? You're watching my channel, you clicked on my video to watch it, so show a little patience. If you're impatient and you don't want to wait till I get to the point, then do the best thing, move on, okay? It's pretty simple, all right? So you guys see it in the title. I don't want anybody to think like it's clickbait or anything of that nature. No, it's not. I don't typically do clickbait. I typically put titles for the situation that I'm dealing with or what I'm going to talk in general about. Okay, so I'm not going to ever, for the most part, clickbait y'all on anything. All right, so in the title you read that I tried, but, and then you see ... Gerard Summers, what's going on, buddy? And then on top of that, it breaks down. I'm also going to talk about the reality of trucking, okay? And this is probably going to be more geared towards new people that's coming into trucking or that's looking in and getting in trucking and ran across my channel, ran across this video, and are maybe just need a good reality tip, and I'm going to give that today, all right? Real quickly, I put out a post here on social media, whether on my YouTube channel, in my community section. Also, I did it on my Facebook and on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's simple. Loshawnparks, you can look me up, follow. Same way with you, Facebook, Loshawnparks, you can follow. All right, those tend to be the two places that I post the most, more so on Facebook. If you're a football fanatic or you're new to my channel, you don't know, just look around. I'm an LSU fan, all right? So yeah, the biggest LSU fan, if you will. So there you go. I hate saying you guys know that's been following me for a while. I hate saying I hate that filler word, but let's get into what we're talking about. All right, so I put out the post today saying that we are looking for a team, okay? Now, I know a lot of people said that, you have gone and said that you were looking for solo drivers, you're looking for teams, now you're back to looking for, teams and what's going on in the situation with solo drivers. This is why I'm going to talk to you guys about the solo driver position here, pulling the UPS freight, all right? The situation that we're running into with the solo drivers is that, Smitty, I see you in the building, tomorrow, go blue. The situation that we're running into with solo drivers over here pulling the UPS freight is that there are times when there are long waiting times, okay? I have two solo drivers that are here right now, and they seem to be running into similar to almost the same issue, okay? And that is that they're getting to terminals and either one, the load is not ready to go and they're having to sit for an extended period of time, or either the load is canceling and they have to, get another load or something of that nature. This is very frustrating for both parties, to include myself and to include the solo driver. Now, I don't want to say that it's the solo driver's fault solely. You know what I mean? This plays a part in logistics, okay? Which it will, what I'll talk about in my other portion, in my second half of this video, is basically the dose of reality of trucking, okay? Now, a lot of people don't don't factor in. I'll say, they don't factor it in, and they think that when you come out here to do trucking, like it's going to be a perfect world. And ideally, we would like for that to be the case all the time. Like, really, honestly, sitting, we don't want to have that a lot. We try to minimize that as much as possible. But at the end of the day, this is what this industry is made up of, logistics. And logistics moves how logistics moves. It's never going to be perfect. You're never going to find a company that you go to where you're just consistently, constantly moving and you've never sat for an hour, 2 hours, or extended period of time. So, but we'll talk about that a little bit more into the dose of reality. But as far as with us, we do have a truck that is coming available about mid-January, okay, mid-January. And from this point out, from the projections or the way that I'm seeing things that I would like for it to go, or how it probably is going to be more smoother for the operator, is team positions, okay, to pull the UPS freight. That's just what it is. The teams I don't tend to hear from a lot. Most of the time for my teams, I have to call them and check in on them to see if they're, doing good or if they're alive. And they don't never tend to have too many issues, because it seems like a lot of this drop and hook freight, the 90 to 98% drop and hook freight that UPS freight does have, is more catered to teams. Okay. Not saying that solo drivers can't do some stuff, but speaking with one of my drivers, he said that it seems like more so of the solo drivers are doing the relays, like bringing it up to a certain portion, and then a team repowers it and takes it the further distance. So I think that I don't ever want to put people in a position that when you come to us, Parks Motor Group, that you're in that what we have going on is affecting your finances ever. You know what I mean? If that ever turns into a situation, then I'll be the first one to tell you that it probably is going to be best that you find a different location or somewhere else to work. And that's just me being honest with the contractor or the driver or the lease operator. I don't ever want to just make you stay somewhere and then try to feed you smoky mirrors and try to make you believe like it's going to get better. That's not making you happy, like, ever. You know what I mean? To even include with me, you know what I mean? Don't do it just because, oh, I'm with Loshawnparks and he has a YouTube channel and I follow him, I like him, I like his content, so I'm just gonna try to stick it out. No, don't ever. Also on that same note is, if you come into me for a job because you see a posting via YouTube, me saying that, hey, we're hiring, or you see it on my Facebook page or wherever you see me saying that, with my flyer saying that we're hiring it, please do understand that this is a serious ordeal, okay? This is some joyride, or it's going to be some type of cupcake ride, or like Lo is cool, Lo be cool, and Loa help me and all that. Let me tell you something. In the day, I have a business to run. Okay, I do. I have a business to run. So if you're not, getting the job done, or you're not being productive, well, then, or you're creating a lot of issues or complaining all the time or something of that nature. Um, I'm not pressed on keeping a truck filled. Okay, I will fire you. You know what I'm saying? So don't think like if you were to apply, you. All right, I'm back, y'all. I don't know what's going on connection, but it is what it is. But back to what I was saying. Don't think that you're going to be able to come over here and not. Yeah, I seen the lagging signal. just went out. Yeah, it did. I don't want to change this to the Wi-Fi, so I'll just leave it how it is. The neighborhood that I live in, the internet connection around here is just, it comes and goes. So please do pardon that. If you did lose connection, just go out and come back in and it'll be back. Or you can just stay where you're at and the video will come back on. But what I was saying is, don't think that you can come over here and that I won't fire you, okay? Or that I won't relieve you of your contract with us, because I will, okay? I've told people this several times. I'm not a friendly employer. I'm a fair employer. So I want to make sure that I'm fair to you, and at the same time, you need to be fair back, okay? And if not, and there's some type of disconnect, then we're gonna have to part ways. That's just what it is. A lot of people will look at it like, don't hire people off of the internet, don't hire people off of social media, or anything of that nature. To me, that's how you have to, brand your business or get the advertisement out there that you're hiring. Other than that, if you put it just in like Indeed post just for your local area, especially being with the type of company that we are, we're an OTR company. So we can't just post in the Charlotte area and surrounding areas and hope that we're going to land the driver to do OTR. Typically for what we do with being OTR, we need to basically be on social media, branch it out so that as many people that are in different areas can hear this and understand the opportunity if they wish to apply. But at the same time, have I gotten bad drivers off of social media? Yes. Have I gotten good drivers off of social media? Yes. I would say that most of my fleet right now is made up off of people that have followed me or have seen an ad or have watched me on YouTube and have applied. And I can say right now, I have I got two teams that have followed me off of social media and that have been with me over a year. Okay. So that's really, really good. I got another team that has joined us here probably a couple months ago, back in October, early November, and he follows me off social media, and I don't have no complaints from them either. So to say that there's not good drivers on social media, or that you can't get good drivers off of your social media, being YouTube, being Facebook, being Instagram, it's not true. You can get good drivers off of this and you can get bad drivers. You can get good drivers off of somebody not knowing that you have a social media page, and you can get bad drivers off of, or vice versa. If I said bad first time, good or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. You can get that off of somebody not even knowing that you have a social media platform. So it just comes in all shapes, size, and colors when it comes to that. It don't matter. But when you're hiring somebody off of whether they come from social media, they just need to still understand this is a job. You know what I mean? This is a real life job. This is what you get paid to do. You applied and we have expectations. We expect you to still do your job regardless at the end of the day. And if you don't, then you will be relieved of your duties from this company, period. All right. So we're no different when it comes to expectations and looking for you to do your job at the end of the day. Okay, period. Something I do want to put out there real quickly, as far as our costs that the operators do have. We do have low costs here pulling the UPS freight stuff. Okay, I do want to get into a little bit about the insurance, because I know a lot of people do ask about the insurance. After we've been now pulling the UPS freight for, I want to say, a little over 60 days, since since early November. So maybe first week of November, we're working a little bit over 30 days, maybe 45 days or so. The numbers have finally come in on what we will be paying for insurance, ELDs, pre-pass, stuff of that nature. All right, the only fees that the contractor is fixed costs that the contractor is liable for is the truck payment, the PMG fee, and their insurance. And their insurance includes physical damage, bobtail, which is non-trucking, and also occupational insurance, to include pre-pass and e-log. All right. Now here, with us doing the UPS, it's not done weekly. Okay. Things over here with us are a little bit different than the conventional way of how trucking goes. Most companies are charging weekly fees. Well, you pay your insurance weekly, you pay your ELD, your pre-pass, and stuff like that weekly. Well, we don't charge weekly, we charge monthly. Every month, the drivers are charged for that. But if the driver was, if we were to break this down for everything that I just mentioned, as far as physical damage, bobtail, occupational, pre-pass, and E-log, okay, which is basically the ELD, it would break down to be between about $72.63 per driver that they would pay per week, okay? Now, coming from the carrier that we were at previous to us coming to UPS, like we were paying $450 a week, or the operators, excuse me, were paying $450 a week for insurance alone, okay? And then the ELD was $12. And then if they had the navigation, that was in part of the package, or part of the ELD, that was an additional, I think, like $10 or something like that. So just alone, so basically, and let's get this understood, because I don't want people to be like, well, what year is your trucks? I stated this before. The oldest truck in my fleet is a 2017, and the newest truck in my fleet is a 2019. So my fleet ranges from 2017 to 2019. So they're fairly new trucks with a fair amount of value on them, okay? So at the highest price of our new trucks, being 2019s, physical damage is running about $50.52 a week per operator. Okay, bobtail is going to run about $6.82. Occupational is going to run about $2.02. The pre-pass is running $2.09 a week, and the ELD runs $11.16. For a grand total of, for the month, the driver contractor will only pay $312.35 per month for all of these items that I just named combined. I think it's a great deal. And as the value of the truck drops, of course, the amount of the insurance drops as well. So it's really, really good. We go based off of the year of the truck, the value of the truck. We don't basically come up with a fixed cost number for everybody to pay, okay? Which I think that's the way that it should be done, okay? Not saying that it's done like that across the industry everywhere, but I think that that's how it should be done. So your fixed cost for your insurances, your E-log, and your pre-pass every week, if you was to break it down by week, would average out to be about $72.63, okay? Truck payments are ranging at $780, okay? $780 a week to lease the truck from us. And then the PMG fee for us is $300 for a solo driver, which once again, we're kind of getting away from the solo drivers. Unless you're already on with us and you want to remain a solo driver, then you're grandfathered in, you can remain there. But from this point forward, where we're going to be looking to hire it as teams, because it's more profitable for teams, okay? It just is. So for a team, you're going to be looking at a fixed cost of $780 for the truck payment, $600 for the PMG fee, and then $300 or $72.63 per week if you want to break it down per week. But once again, we only take out those deductions once a month with the insurance, the pre-pass, and the ELD. So altogether, if you were to break down your fixed costs as a team operation, you're looking at under $1,500 per week for everything, all inclusive, everything. All right, if you're a solo driver, you're going to be looking at $780 plus $300, which is $1,080 plus another $72. So you're looking at under $1,200 for a solo driver to operate for all costs. Now, this doesn't include your variable costs. Your variable costs will be fuel, okay? And fuel, we just can't put a number on because you control that at the end of the day. All right, so I'm really excited about these numbers. These are some really, really stout numbers. Drivers are able to, that our teams are able to make some really, really decent money after all expenses and keep it moving. Like I said, this is trucking. So if you were to apply and you come over here and you think like it's just going to be boom, 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 boom every day, that it's going to be perfect, don't apply, because that doesn't happen in logistics. Even though this is UPS stuff, and most of it is terminal to terminal, okay? It's 90-98% drop and hook. Once again, I've stated this, but there are times when freight is backed up. There is times when loads cancel. There are times when you're going to have to sit because there is nothing that's moving that day. And UPS is infamous, okay, what we've come to find out, is infamous for really not having nothing going on Sundays, okay? So if you are pulling a load and you arrive on Saturday to deliver it, it's a good chance that on Sunday you won't be getting anything. Okay, Sunday is going to basically be a shutdown, relaxed day. Take the day off, enjoy whatever you want to sports. You know, if you're like me, enjoy sports that day, or just uh, drop the trailer, bobtail, and go enjoy the town or the city, whatever you're in, and enjoy. Okay. Most things with UPS operate Monday through Saturday, and then when it hits the weekend, it really tends to get slow. Saturday is a hit or miss day. They may have something, they may not have something. So the weekends with UPS Freight is really, really a level down as far as things of that nature go. And I think that with a lot of the solo drivers that I have had that are over here right now have been used to being with like the other mega carriers where they work seven days a week. You know what I mean? It's Saturdays they got something, it's Sundays they got something, and that's not the case here. Okay, from what we have experienced in this 45-day period that we've been here. But the miles are consistent. They do get you plenty of miles, and the miles are hitting in the averages that I've projected. The miles are hitting in the area of what I have advertised for solo drivers, 25 to 3,500 miles a week. Sorry, I had a phone call come in. For teams, it's anywhere from 35. You know what's funny about iPhone, right? Real quick, squirrel, distraction. You know what's funny about iPhones? You put this phone on Do Not Disturb, and you put this phone on silence, and the phone still allows phone calls to come through. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, don't make sense. What's the purpose or point of Do Not Disturb if you're still gonna allow calls to come through? It's pretty stupid to me. But anyway, those are some really good numbers. If you are a team and you're interested, with so many companies going out of business, mega carriers dropping off like flies. You know, we seeing the Celadons. I'm hearing about the other company that Celadon had owned, their last company. I think is it Taylor. They got 169 trucks. They're about to go out of business. And you just see on transportationnetwork.com, if you guys ain't following that, check that out. But you just see on so many levels that these companies are going out of business. And somebody asked the fuel surcharge. Fuel surcharge changes week to week, okay? So how the drivers over here get paid is, once again, $1.15 all miles plus the fuel surcharge. And let me see. Last week's fuel surcharge was 29.5 cents. So 29.5 cents plus $1.15 and puts you at $1.44.5, okay? So yeah, I hope that makes sense to you as well. But another thing, I've already covered this on several videos before this. UPS does cover plates, so you don't have a plate fee, you don't have a toll fee, you don't have IFTA. They pay your IFTA. What else? They get average about 56 cents off the pump price at Love's is their biggest, from my understanding, is their biggest discount. It is Calm Data card. You can fuel anywhere you want to, but it probably would be best that you follow the network to get the best discount. Just trying to think of some other perks that they have. Once again, terminal, drop and hook. And once again, pulling a UPS freight is like no other carrier that we've been to, or like no other mega carrier that we've been to. Is different. Okay, when I tell you that it's different, I mean it's completely different. You're going to have to basically retool, because the way that dispatch does, sometimes dispatch can be, a little rude. I'm not gonna lie, which we're working on that, trying to get those dispatchers that are rude to, tone it down just a little bit. But when you go into these terminals, from my understanding, from per my contractors, they're the the UPS drivers that actually are company drivers, you know, they snob up at you. You know, they really don't really like you because you're an owner operator, and they feel like, you know, where that they feel like you are taking their freight. And it's like, well, we're doing OTR. You guys are more so local, except for those that are doing OTR. And it's like, hey, if you want to take the freight, then take it. You know what I mean? But UPS has plenty of freight. UPS freight has plenty of freight. So it's not like everybody can't eat, but you know, you always want to be in those situations where people want to snob up at you, especially when they're company drivers that are for that company because they feel like you're coming in and taking their freight. And that's just the nature of the beast. So what I tell my contractors is, you know, just ignore it. You know, when you go turn in your paperwork, turn in your paperwork. Okay, thank you. If the person that's taking your paperwork is being too rude to you, then, you know, take a name, let dispatch know, our dispatch know, and we will go about handling it like that. I see Kenny Long is in here. They're union and don't like us. Yeah, that's right, Kenny. They're union. All right, my bad, y'all. I had to turn the Wi-Fi on because my phone signal is just keeps dropping connection. Becoming frustrating, very much so. So I appreciate my moderators that are in here. I see my wife is in here, taking off heads. Y'all think it's a game when I tell y'all that if y'all come into my channel when I'm doing a live and say something ridiculous in the comment section that y'all won't be blocked. Like, y'all think it's a game, but y'all still want to try it. Y'all still want to try it. You have to get that boost signal put in the house. Yeah, that Wii boost. I don't know why people keep on trying it. I don't know why. Y'all don't understand y'all get blocked. Just like I still don't understand why people will leave me a dumb comment after the video renders and think that that comment is just going to stay. It's not going to stay. I'm going to delete it and I'm going to block you. So some people you just can't get through to. All right, so some information that I want to give to y'all. But the point that I was trying to make on the first portion of my video, of this video where I said I tried, but so what I was indicating is that I tried to do solo drivers, but it just seems like it's not going to be a great fit for a solo driver, okay? It's just not. It seems like this is more geared towards teams than it is the solo driver. Because another thing that is I probably would view as a con is that with UPS freight, you don't get layover pay until after you've been sitting for 24 hours. Okay, and that's 24 hours after your 10-hour break is up. I'm not a fan of that, okay? Essentially, that's 34 hours before they're willing to pay layover. I mean, the layover pay is good money. I mean, they pay $250 a day for layover, where most companies pay like $150 for a layover. But I don't like the portion of it where it is 10 hours, 24 hours after your 10-hour break. I don't cut for that. I think that's not cool. That's why I say that it's probably catered more for teams, because teams are not going to sit for 10 hours. They're just not, you know what I mean? Teams are going to hook and book and roll. But solo drivers have to sit for 10 hours, you know, a day to get their break in. So, and then if you're sitting for your 10 hours and then that load, you know, you're sitting there waiting on that load, you can't receive layover pay until sitting there for an additional 24 hours. I don't like that. I don't. So y'all see, I still, there's pros and cons to every company. You know what I mean? There's no perfect company out here. And I made a video about that like 2-3 years ago, that there's no perfect company out here. If you're in search of the perfect company, you might as well not even truck. Don't even be a truck driver. Don't even get into trucking, because that doesn't exist, okay? A perfect company in trucking is a unicorn. I'm sorry, every company has pros and cons to it, okay? And you just have to figure out which pro and con you're willing to accept and take, okay? That's all it is. Are teams really still in demand? A lot of individuals stopping the team. Yeah, teams are still, Big Knox, teams are still in demand as far as pulling the UPS freight. I can tell you that. I can tell you right now, if an owner operator was to try and get on with UPS freight right now, they won't even accept solo drivers right now. They only want teams. And they said that they may allow solo drivers back next year, in the beginning of the year. But right now, their only emphasis is teams. Like they only want teams, I guess, because they can move the freight a lot faster. Of course, I mean it's understandable on that. Why UPS freight over FedEx ground? FedEx ground, you tend with FedEx ground, you have to buy a contract. Okay, I don't know if people have ever discussed how the FedEx ground works. FedEx ground, you have to buy into a contract. So basically, if somebody has a contract running wherever, individuals own these contracts. Okay, they're bought up, and unless that individual is willing to sell you the contract, then you can't get on with FedEx ground, because it's contract. I mean, it's a contract that's owned by an individual. Okay. And that individual owns that contract, and he brings trucks onto his contract, and then he hires those people to drive his trucks to pull. He could bring owner operators in because that's his contract. But UPS freight doesn't sell you contracts like how FedEx ground is. FedEx ground is sold contracts. Okay. So example would be if you wanted a contract that ran from Charlotte to Atlanta and Atlanta back, and a person owned that contract and they want to sell that contract for $500,000, well, you have to give the guy who owns the contract $500,000 in order to get that contract and put your trucks on it. And getting confused. UPS freight is not that way. Okay, you don't have to buy the contract at all. So real quickly here, and I answer some of y'all questions here momentarily. Let me get this out the way. A dose of reality in trucking is this. FedEx ground is owner operator company only. Listen, that you probably are right about that. The only part I know about FedEx ground is that you have to buy contracts. You have to buy the contracts from whoever the contractor is that has the contract. So it's not like you can go and sign your truck on under them unless you have the contract. So I don't know. I think maybe that's what we're talking about, the same thing. I see where you say yes, you do. Some information that I want to give to a dose of reality for maybe new drivers. I think that a driver that has been in the industry for quite some time this is not going to be a dose of reality for them. They should already know this. But if you're new coming into trucking, or you're looking to come into trucking, I want to tell you once again, I got to reiterate this, that it's not a perfect world. Okay, you will do sitting. Okay, there will be loads that cancel. There will be weeks that are bad. Okay, not every week is a home run week. Okay, in the same breath, there's going to be weeks where you have home runs. Okay, where things just are falling in place. Boom, 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 boom. You going here, you're getting reloaded quickly, and you go on next place, you're getting reloaded quickly, and the week just falls in line and you make really good money. But there are those weeks where you're going to fall into a slump. Okay, it's just that's the nature of the game. It's almost like a professional athlete. A professional athlete is not on par every game. Okay, they're just not. My favorite quarterback in the world, Tom Brady. I know some people are going to be subjective to that, but my favorite quarterback in the world is Tom Brady because of how he works, okay, and how he keeps the classiness of him. But not every game Tom Brady, or not every week Tom Brady plays a phenomenal, flawless game. You know what I'm saying? And same way with any basketball player, LeBron James. Not every game, not every week he's going to turn a triple double. It's you know what I mean? It's those weeks or those times that you're just going to be. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do right. It's just not falling the way that it's supposed to fall. Okay. Don't get discouraged. That's trucking. Like when you hear the terminology or you hear drivers tell you that's trucking, this is what they're talking about. That's trucking. You have to take the good with the bad. There's going to be times when you're waiting. Like I said, even with us having this UPS deal that we have going on where it's 90 to 98% drop and hook, there are times when the trucks have to wait. All right. There are times where they're there and the load just is not completely ready. They're sitting there for 10 hours. They're sitting there for 5 hours. They're sitting there for however many hours. It's just not right. You know what I mean? It's not ready. So that is what it is. Okay. But when you have good weeks, you have to stack your money on those good weeks, because when the bad weeks come, it don't affect you, okay? But the problem that a lot of truck drivers have is when the good weeks come, they splurge on those, okay? And when the bad weeks come, they complain on those. You see what I'm saying? They will complain on the bad weeks and splurge on the good weeks. And everything is all peachy and great when it's all good. But as soon as it goes bad, it's all bad, right? And they're talking about the company is this, the company ain't getting me that. And what a lot of people fail to realize is that the carrier that you're with, it's not their fault, okay? Once again, it's logistics, okay? We can't make the shippers move the product any faster as a company, okay? We can't make the receivers accept the product any faster than what they're gonna accept it, okay? We're doing our part as a carrier or as a company. Me, I'm not a carrier because I don't have DOT numbers. I'm leased on to UPS, so I'm a company. But we're doing everything as far as what we're supposed to do as a company to make sure that you're getting paid, to make sure if you have any payroll issues that we can fix that, things of that nature. But when it comes to logistics and you sitting and not moving, that has nothing to do with us, okay? And I can't stress this enough to drivers. It's not your company's fault that if you're sitting there at the shipper, that it's their fault. They can't control that, okay? We can tell you, especially with as far as where I'm at. I'm not in charge of anything dealing with logistics, okay? With the UPS side, I'm not in charge of any of that. So as far as getting you what load or what terminal or how many miles, things of that nature, that's out of my realm. That's not in my control. That is up to the logistics side of UPS and the dispatcher. He is their individual who will get you that. But if you have payroll issues, you're having truck issues, you know what I mean? Things of that nature, then you can explain or call me and we can talk about that. But I can't help you if you're sitting at a shipper for X amount of hours or however long. That's something that you need to contact with dispatch, and then dispatch needs to know that. They should be able to know that through your ELD system, how long you've been sitting there, so that they can put in for layover pay or detention time. But I have drivers that will blame the company, or a lot of drivers will try to blame the company for them sitting. And it's like, well, that has nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? We would love for it to be a perfect world where you're always moving. Why? That makes everybody money. When the truck is sitting, we're not making money and you're not making money. So just think about it like this. How frustrated you think all of us are? You know, we're just as frustrated as y'all are when y'all are sitting there, because you ain't making no money. It's making you discouraged, which in hindsight, that could make the driver be disgruntled and they want to start looking for another job. And they think that by going to next X carrier is going to be any better. And you get to next X carrier, yeah, it goes great, the honeymoon phase for the first week. And then it's back to dose of reality in trucking. Now you're sitting, okay? And you're back again complaining to the company like, hey, I'm sitting, what do you want us to do? Okay? What do you want us to do? That's out of our realm. Person you probably need to go and speak to about that, walk into the shipping office and say, hey, y'all chewing my clock up, okay? How long do y'all think it's gonna be? You know, if y'all want this load to get there on time, then y'all need to move at a timely pace here, you know what I mean? If not, then, you know, our detention rate starts after 2 hours, you know what I mean? And this is a trick I used to use all the time when I was with Prime and I was with Flatbed. I would give a company, you know, about the hour and a half mark before, if they decided that they didn't want to offload my truck, I would give them about an hour and a half. After that, I'll walk into the building and I tell the shipping clerk, shipping department, shipping manager, whoever, I would say, listen, shipping or receiving, whoever, I would say, listen, I've been here for an hour and a half, okay? Y'all do know that the first 2 hours is free. In the next 30 minutes, detention is going to kick in. And I will come in there, even if you have to come in there and lie to them and give them an astronomical number and say, listen, detention rate is $100. This is what I would tell them too, even though it wasn't. It probably was like with Prime, maybe detention was maybe $40, $45, somewhere like that. I would walk in and say, you know, the detention rate is $100 an hour, past 2 hours. And when you tell them that, immediately, them cats would have somebody on your truck. Reason why? These companies don't want to pay that detention pay. They don't, okay? So if you walk in there and you let them know, hey, detention rate is popping off at $100 an hour in the next 30 minutes, okay? They're gonna hop on your shit, okay? And if they don't, then you just keep in their mind, you come back and check in next hour. You're up to $200 right now, detention. I'm just, what I mean? Hey, I ain't telling y'all to move no faster because I'm gonna make some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my money. I'm just letting you know, you at $200 right now, all right? Because I've been sitting here for 3-4 hours. So you know that your tab is running up. So, and I'm going to get somebody to sign off on this. And if you don't want to sign off on the paper, then I'm going to put on here the time that I got in here and the time that I left, and I'm going to sign it off myself, okay? Because my Qualcomm or my ELD is going to show that I've been sitting here. So you can't deny this because I've been sitting here. Oh yeah, that's how I would get offloaded quickly at shippers and receivers. Now, some of the stuff that you need to realize is that your appointment time. Okay. Now you can't try to finesse them if your appointment time is a certain window time, right? So if you get there at 7 o'clock, but the window time is they have until 12 noon to 12 midnight, and you get there at 7 o'clock at night, well, and you've been sitting there for 3 hours or whatever, well, they technically have until midnight to pull you. So you really can't finesse them at that point. But if you're there on time for your appointment time and it's in your appointment window and they're taking longer than that, then it's time for the finesse game. Okay. Y'all gonna get me offloaded. I'm gonna tell you how long y'all gonna pay you on some detention. First two are not free. That time is included. I see what you're saying, Kenny. I know for most companies, though, most companies say that the first 2 hours is free. You know what I'm saying? They will give them the first 2 hours to get them offloaded where they can't start charging for detention time. After that, then they start getting detention to maybe what I'm trying to say is that now the driver starts getting detention after the first 2 hours. Maybe that's the better wordplay that I should put on here, is that the company probably gets it way before the 2 hours, but the driver starts accumulating detention time after the first 2 hours. So maybe that's what I'm trying to say, but that's how I would finesse shippers all the time. When I did that, I would get unloaded quickly because I would go in and let them know, like, hey, detention is starting. You know what I'm saying? If they need more time, they need to pay. The idea that getting loaded is free is why it's so hard to get paid. Yeah, but I know, like I said, when you, Kenny, with like major companies like the mega carriers, or even some smaller companies even have it where they say, oh, we don't pay attention until after 2 hours. So in the mind frame of the driver is, well, they got 2 hours to offload me, right, before I start collecting detention time. Not saying that that company isn't making no money within that first 2 hours of you not getting loaded, but the driver doesn't accumulate the detention until after 2 hours. And I know that's pretty much standard for most companies, is drivers don't get detention until after the first 2 hours or hour and a half. But I agree with you. You know what I mean? No, your time is valuable, so nothing should be free at all. So that's why I say, kind of like put the pressure on them a little bit. You know what I mean? Because if you're sitting there for X amount of time and then you call your carrier, they're going to say, well, how long you been sitting there? Oh, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Oh, well, they have up to 2 hours. Or I've been sitting here an hour. Okay, well, they have up to X amount of time. And that's what the companies will tell you. And like Kenny was saying, not saying that the company isn't making any money from you sitting there, but you don't start accumulating it as a driver until after their required layover or detention time per company. So I agree with you on that. But also a key thing that I would tell new drivers that are coming in is stay focused on how to be a better you, okay? On how to be a better truck driver, on how to make more money or make more sound decisions. A lot of times drivers will take advice from influencers such as myself or other truck driving content creators, and they will base the industry off of what they're saying. Okay, so if one content creator says a company is bad, then they're going to base it off of that content creator saying that company is bad, opposed to other people. That the best person to talk to about a company is one that is currently there, okay? Not one that has left, okay? Most time when a driver has left, they're already either disgruntled, they're mad, they've been done wrong, they felt like they've done wrong, or they've done the company wrong in some aspect, some form, or something of that nature. So those are typically not the best ones to ask, is those that that have previously worked there. I probably would ask one that is currently working there, ask them to be honest with you, to give you the pros and cons about the company, what they like and what they don't like. If somebody comes back and tells you there's nothing about the company I don't like, I wouldn't take any advice from that person, okay? Because there's bad in every company. There's good in every company, okay? But there's some negative somewhere in here. And for you to say that there is nothing bad about this company, well, you are definitely a company mascot, okay? That's just what it is. You're a company mascot, okay? Because there are bad things, okay? So I would want you to give me your honest opinion and tell me what the bad things are as well, okay? But don't just tell me everything bad. Now also tell me what's the pros, okay? What's the perks? What's the good thing about being here? Or what's keeping you here as long as you've been? You know what I mean? Because when you're talking to a driver that's currently there, well, he's still there, okay? And so now it's time to figure out, well, if it's so bad, why are you still here? You know what I'm saying? There's something that's keeping you here. And then most times, oh, I'm looking for another job. Well, okay, that's an excuse. But you're still here. You know what I'm saying? So apparently you're still making some sort of a check, because if you're at a company that you're not making any check, well, that's just as, if you're not making a check, then that's just as bad as you not even working there, right? So you might as well just be unemployed, because if you're not making no money, what's the point of you staying there? You know what I'm saying? And another thing that's really funny to me. You have to watch the drivers that are saying that, oh, I'm losing money. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting to me because I've been told that by a driver that was with me that they were losing money. And I was confused because how are you losing money if I cut you a check? Okay. Now, on that same note, I can understand how one could say I'm losing money because of my time, and my time is valuable. I dig it. Okay. Everybody has a different level of how much their time is worth. Okay. But by you saying that you're losing money, when I hear the term losing money, I'm thinking like you're not making no paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting paid for detention. You're not getting paid for layover. You know what I mean? So you have to watch that when you hear people say that I'm not making any money, because to me, that's kind of asinine. If you're not making any money, but yet you're still reporting, or you're telling me from this trucking company that you're still working for, that don't make sense. It don't make sense. Okay, you got to be making money somewhere, because I damn sure hope you're not working for free. I damn sure hope you ain't taking loads and ain't making nothing off it, and just what, you just pulling freight for free? You know what I'm saying? So it's different levels to when people say I'm losing money. In my mind, you need to explain to me how you're losing money. Are you saying that by you sitting here for X amount of time and they're not paying you for detention or layover? Okay, I get that. But if you're saying that you're losing money because you're not running as many loads as you thought that you would, or that you potentially could do, well, that's not technically losing money, because you can't lose something that you never gained. All kinds of phone calls, y'all. I'm sorry. That's like counting money before it's even made. That don't make sense to me. So you can't say I could have gotten in 2 or 3 more loads. How do you know? You know what I mean? How do you know what traffic was going to be like? How do you know what weather was going to be like? How do you know what that shipper was going to be like? How do you know what that receiver on the other end was going to be like? So you can't count money that was not made already. It don't, like, as much as I would love to, I could sit here and say, man, I done lost $1 million in trucking because of what I could have made, or what I should have made, or what I had to. I can't count that $1 million because it don't exist. Okay, it's not tangible. It's not something that I have touched and physically lost. Physically, not mentally lost, because mentally losing something is valuing, saying, oh, I could have gotten these extra loads in if I would have did this. But you're mentally thinking that, but you don't technically know if that could have happened the way that you planned it out or drew it out. Because once again, in trucking, we would love for this to be a perfect world. We really would. We would love for this to be a perfect world where every load, as soon as you got there, they offloaded you. And as soon as you got to the shipper, they loaded you. As soon as you got to the receiver, they offloaded you. And boom, dispatch had your next load ready to go. You did the same thing, and you did that every day. That would be a perfect world. If that was the case, all truck drivers wouldn't be complaining, okay? All truck drivers would be millionaires, okay? And that's just not the case. And it's just not the case because it's so unperfect. And this is such an unpredictable industry with things that go up, things that go down, seasons, weather, you know what I mean? Breakdowns, trucks. It's a lot of things to factor in. And what I would like to do is in 2020, come to y'all more in a realistic form, okay? And tell y'all to be realistic with yourself, okay? Because the worst critic or the worst enemy is to lie to yourself, okay? To think that you could have had an $8,000 week, but what you technically had was a $5,000 week, you are selling yourself dreams, okay? You are setting yourself on expectations that you don't even know even existed. Not real, okay? So I would like for y'all to be more realistic with yourself. If it wasn't made, then it's not real. Loss don't have to be realized already. You can lose in opportunity cost. But see, the thing is this, opportunity is only available if the opportunity presents itself. If the opportunity don't present itself, then it's not an opportunity, okay? If you're held up at a shipper or you have a truck breakdown or your tire goes flat, then you can't say, oh, if this didn't happen, I had the opportunity. You wasn't presented the opportunity. You feel me? You wasn't presented the opportunity. So in order for opportunity to happen, it has to be presented. And if it's not presented or present, then it's not real. Okay? And that's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? That's all I'm trying to say. For opportunity to be of existence, it has to be of present. Some of the lanes drivers ain't making no money. And you put a question mark. I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, I'll call you back, Matt. Let's see my accountant. Just called me. So I have to call him back here momentarily. But that's what I want to tell the new drivers, man. When you guys come in here, man, just get in here, learn the game, enjoy it for your first year or two. You know, stay on your P's and Q's, be mindful, be open-minded to changes, and don't expect anything. Okay, that's probably the biggest takeaway from it is don't come in with expectations. Don't come in saying, oh, I'm gonna make this amount every week, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go and buy a truck after 3 years. How do you know? Just come in and stack your money, and then your money will allow and tell you when you can do what you can do. All right. I see so many guys want to be owner operators. Okay. And it's so funny because I don't know if Truckers Coach is going to watch this, but if he does, I was listening to Truckers Coach's video the other day, and he had a owner operator who called in. And this is where I stress that truckers don't know numbers, right? Most truck drivers don't know their numbers. I'm sorry. It's okay. Okay. But most truck drivers don't know their numbers. Driver called in, bought a truck. He's an owner operator, but this guy didn't know his cost per mile. He didn't know what he should be making per mile. He didn't even have his numbers right as far as like how much he paid on his truck, the value of his truck, how much he was paying in insurance. But you went out and bought a truck and wanted to be an owner operator, but you don't even know how to really run your business. You don't know how to run a business, but yet you want to go out and be an owner operator. That's why I tell people it's levels to this shit. If you want to be an owner operator, you should take the proper steps in order to be an owner operator. Go be a company driver, learn the game first, okay? Just in general, okay? The basic shit about it. Next, step up to leasing, okay? Get yourself into a walkway lease in case it ain't for you. Then if it ain't for you, then you could walk away from the situation and have lost nothing, all right? But so many guys want to be company drivers for a year and then hop up and be a goddamn owner operator and go buy a truck, but then yet they don't know how to run numbers, okay? Because as a company driver, you wasn't really concerned with running numbers because the company paid for everything. So you lost the graduation steps, right? You try to go from elementary school to high school. You skip middle school altogether. And a lot of people try to do the same thing with being a fleet owner. They want to get multiple trucks. They go from being a company driver wanting to get 4 trucks. They went from elementary school and went to college. How the hell did you skip middle school and high school and go straight to college, bro? And then they wonder why they struggle or have so many problems when they get to that level. And trucks are getting returned. Their numbers is off. They got to go out of business. Same shit, man. Like it's the hamster. I use that analogy so much. It's the hamster on the wheel, man. So many people are running in place, and it's just like the hamster is not realizing they're not even going anywhere. You're running in that wheel thinking that you're going somewhere. You ain't moving nothing. Okay, take your time, Do what you need to do to get to the proper steps into where you want to be in trucking. Okay, I'm so tired of hearing these guys wanting to go out and buy trucks and they don't even know how to operate their goddamn business, bro. That shit is pathetic. It's sad, man. And y'all don't even know what to run a load for. Y'all don't even know. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm thinking here in 2020, I might want to do a call-in show, okay, and try to help some people out as much as I can. Now, I'm probably, like I told people this before when I had thoughts of doing a call-in show, I'm probably going to be a blunt call-in show, okay? If I see that you ain't doing something right, or I think what you're doing is asinine, I'm going to tell you, like on the phone. I'm like, dog, what are you talking about, man? Okay, you don't deserve, you shouldn't be in the position that you're in, okay? Whether you're owner operator or whatever, listen, do this, do that, do that, da, da, da. If that don't work for you, you know what I'm saying? Come back to the drawing board, give it 30 days, see how that worked. Then we'll retweak it from there. But I'm not gonna be the call-in show where it's like, yep, everything you say is up. Yep, no, dog, no. You call in and you got something stupid going on. I'm gonna be like, dog, that shit is dumb. Okay, I'm gonna be like, that shit is dumb, and I'm probably gonna catch a lot of flack for it. People ain't gonna like it. It's my channel. I do what I want to do. But yeah, I don't know. That's my thoughts for 2020. But in 2020, also I'm going to start a series on building a fleet. Whether people want to look at it as a lease a fleet, whether people want to look at it as a fleet owner, building a fleet, okay? And I'm going to also tell y'all in 2020 my pitfalls in building a fleet, where I fell down on my face at, where I had to learn certain things on my own from, or I had to learn the hard way on this, and hope that y'all don't make the same mistakes. But just because I made those same mistakes, you're still going to have to go through it. I tell people all the time, the best teacher is making mistakes and learning from them, okay? I can sit here and preach to you all damn day on what not to do, but you're really not going to understand. Just like my kids, I tell them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. They're still going to try it until they hurt themselves. And then they realize, damn, dad said don't do that, I don't want to do it no more. Same way with grown adults, okay? You're not going to learn it until you do it, and then you be like, doink, that shit hurt. You know what I'm saying? That shit hurt. So, but yeah, in 2020, I'm going to get more into fleet building, my pitfalls, my successes, to where I'm at right now as far as my fleet goes, and try to help you guys out with like structuring and proper structuring and ways to look at things and stuff of that nature. This will be my last live feed for 2019. Okay, my last video too for 2019. So listen, I'm gonna answer some of y'all questions. If y'all got questions, man, please put them right down in the comments section. If you don't got any questions, then this is the end of the video for y'all, unless you want to stick around and hear me answer some questions. But that's pretty much all that I got for new drivers coming in, man. Just enjoy it, okay? And take your time. There's no rush. Trucking is going to be around forever. Being an owner operator is going to be around forever. Being a company driver, be around forever. Being a lease operator, be around forever. Like, take your time. Take the proper steps. You don't have to be in a rush because you've seen another YouTuber talking about go out and buy trucks, or go be a fleet owner, or go be a company driver, be a lease operator. Take your time, okay? Whatever it is that you want to do, move at your pace. But whatever your pace is, you need to make sure that you are financially able to move to that next level on whatever level it is. Straight up. As Sonny Rob says, word of the day, discipline. All right, any questions, man? If y'all got any questions, put in the asterisks. Right now, I'll answer some questions for you guys. I'll give you guys about, I want this video to be an hour. I'm already about 30 seconds from it being an hour, but yeah. Leased for 4, I don't know. Asterisk, okay? If y'all don't know what asterisk is, it's the little stars, okay? Put the little stars in front of your question so I can answer it for you. Or I guess I just try to read off some comments that I see here. Lo, do some solo flatbed accounts. I will definitely work with you. Well, see, this is the problem, Will. Flatbed is a seasonal thing, okay? And I understand in the spring and summer, flatbed booms like crazy. But also flatbed insurance is something that's pretty high to get. You know, it's almost like it doesn't make sense for you to have an authority and have your own in hazmat, because hazmat insurance is expensive too. More recorded videos, low too. I try to do recorded videos. Recorded videos take a lot of time. Okay, these live feeds, I can do them on the fly as I have time. Just hit the button, go live, pre-plan them or whatever. But shooting videos, that takes me having to record, edit. So it takes a lot of time that I don't have a lot of time to do that any longer. Is being an owner operator at a mega carrier profitable? It depends. Once again, trying to figure out if being an owner operator is going to be profitable is going to revert back to what your outside of trucking finances are. Okay, if you have a high cost of living, if you have a high debt to income ratio, then it don't matter if you being an owner operator, you being a company driver, you being a lease operator, you're not going to make a lot of money, okay? Because your lifestyle is taking all your money, outside of trucking. So it's going to be to the point where don't matter which realm you take on which option of those three you take, company driver, lease operator, owner operator, it's all going to be determine your profitability based off of your outside of trucking finances. Benny Marquez, you need a refresher course. Okay, somebody's helping them. When do your cost per mile, do you assume that's 100,000 miles yearly or a week, monthly miles numbers? All right, so Rob, I'm trying to figure out, Rob Montana, are you asking how do you figure out your cost per mile or your cost of operation? Is that what you're asking me, Rob Montana? If that is, then I have a video where I basically, in my archive, where I explain how to figure out your cost of operation. How much experience for team drivers for PMG? 1 year. You need to have 1 year of OTR experience, you and your teammate. Okay. It can't be that you have 2 years and your teammate has 6 months. It ain't gonna work. Both of y'all have to have 1 year of OTR experience. Okay. I'm looking to get into being lease operator. Can you name a company that would be good for that in a local only capacity? I have all endorsements. A local, I couldn't tell you. Local is going to, I don't know. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of OTR. Local, I don't know that's going to be within the area that you live in. You know what I mean? Best thing I could tell you to do is search Craigslist, search Indeed within your area and see who has a lease for local. I've been 1099 since September. I'm at 3,000 gross to this day with 1,200 to the side significant. So I guess what you're saying is you have $12,000 to the side, being a 1099. So my thing is this: like, people don't understand. You can't be I don't know if this is you, but I seen it in a post. You cannot be a 1099 company driver. Okay, I seen in a post somebody said that we are looking for company drivers, 1099. What that's an oxymoron. You can't be a 1099 company driver. Okay, you cannot be. I cannot stress this enough. You cannot be a 1099 company driver. Okay, if you see that anywhere, run as fast as you can away from it. Okay, because you're going to be in a world full of hurt come tax time. Okay, no such thing as a 1099 company driver position. Sorry. I hate if I bursted anybody's bubble on that. Hi, what is a CDL? A CDL is a commercial driver's license. 30,000. Is that how much you have? You say you got, Steel Curtain says you got 30,000. Was that you being a company driver? Still, you need deductions, bro. It's Steel Curtain, are you I hope you ain't doing a 1099 company driver position. Go company and eliminate debt over time. Yeah, I can agree with that. I got a super chat just came through. 999 from Buddha Black. He says, "Hey, Lo, what up? What if, what up? If I want to leasing multiple trucks, is it best to put a large down payment for 2 to 3 trucks at once, or is it best to purchase one truck at a time?" All right, so Buddha Black, this is the best advice that I'm going to give you. I don't recommend that you buy or that you lease more than one truck at a time. Okay, I wouldn't advise that you go and get multiple trucks at one time. Okay, I would suggest that if you want to get multiple trucks, I would get one, and then I would wait 30 days later and go get the next one, and then maybe 30 days later, if you're going to get 3 trucks, then I would stagger them. Okay, I wouldn't do all 3 of them at the same time. The reason why, because you got 2290s that you got to do for those trucks. Trying to get all those trucks registered and get on at the same carrier or whatever at the same time can be a little rough, can be really expensive. So if I were you personally, and what I recommend, from experience, trust me, because I've gotten multiple trucks at one time. From experience, I'd never do that again. I would stagger trucks, okay? So if I was going to get one, I would get one, and I'll wait another 30 days, and I'll probably bring on the next one, okay? Get that one truck up and running and operating, get it, settled in, and then get your next one. Trying to bring on 3 trucks at one time to any carrier is, okay, just know that. Yes, I'm a contractor, be smooth. I put 1,200 to the side for taxes. Is that significant? Steel curtain, this is the problem that you're gonna run into, man. You could be taxed at 35%. So if you made $100,000, then 12,000 is not gonna be enough, okay? You're gonna need 35,000. Just saying, okay? Because you're not gonna be taxed at a business because you're not a business. So you're not gonna be taxed at 12.7, or it just depends on whether you're not going to be taxed at that because you're not self-employed, and you're not paying into self-employment, Medicare, and all that stuff. You're going to be taxed as a regular worker, okay? And that's really a red flag on your company too whenever you go and do your taxes, that you're misclassified, okay? You're misclassified because you don't have an EIN number, you don't have a business bank account, and you can't be a 1099 company driver. It sucks, man. I always try to tell people to stay away from these 1099 company driver positions, man. Like, that shit is bogus. If it's a company that says you can be 1099, the first thing that you should ask, or that you should emphasize to them, is you are asking, I need to have an EIN number, things you need to know. You need to have an EIN number, you need to have a business bank account. If you don't have those 2 items right there, and they don't ask for those 2 items but make you a 1099, you can believe that they are putting you in a fucked up predicament, okay, with IRS. And you will hurt, okay? If you make $100,000, you might as well put back $35,000, okay, just to be safe, because you can be taxed at 35%, anywhere from 25 to 35%. So even if you was to put back 25,000, you need 25 to 35,000. That is a big no-no. And a lot of these foreign companies, foreign-owned, Russians, all this other shit, they'll do that. Reason why they're not from this fucking country, and they don't care about taxation here in this country, because they don't technically care about you, because they're going to push all of the tax burden off on you and give you a 1099 and say, this individual made $100,000. I paid him $100,000. And then when you go do your tax, they're gonna say, all right, so what are your write-offs, sir? I don't have any. So you didn't pay for the truck payment. You didn't pay for fuel, right? Because this company, they say we'll pay for all of that. Okay, we pay for all of that. You just make your money. You make $2,100, $3,000 a week. It's all on you. You're doing good, my friend. This is what they do. They rub their hands like Birdman. Okay, when they see these people come, when they see drivers like that come in, they rub their hands like Birdman. Oh yes, my friend, truck ready. I guarantee you $2,500 every month. Okay. Or every week. The thing is this, 1099 is not bad. Like B Smooth says, he loves 1099. I do too, okay? 1099 is not bad if you're doing 1099 the proper way. You have your own EIN, you separating your business, okay? You're a legitimate business, okay? You have your own EIN number that carrier is paying that EIN number. That carrier is not paying you. That carrier is paying that EIN number in that business bank account, okay? He ain't a 1099 employee. He is a contractor. I get it, be smooth. And what I'm stating here is, even for the new people that's coming in, stay away from those. If you're a 1099 company driver and they paying for everything, they don't ask you for an EIN number, they don't ask you for a business bank account, not only should you run through the door and knock that off the hinges, but you should freaking get on the first thing smoking, flying, and fly the hell away from there as far as you can, okay? Because those will hurt you. But once again, being a proper 1099 contractor is having an EIN number, business bank account. That carrier should be paying your business EIN, not your social security number. All right. I suggest you speak to a CPA for that, dude. Yeah. I hope that I helped you with that, Steel Curtain. I think B Smooth says that you're not that. I'm sorry, let me get back to some questions. I'm currently looking to hire a driver and team with him What's the best payroll system to use? Best payroll system to use, you have quite a few of them. You can use Intuit Payroll. You can use ADP. You can use Paychecks. I say Paychecks because I use Paychecks, and that's how I do it. Okay, those are, to me, the three best payroll services to use. Okay, three best payroll services to use. You ain't lying, bro. I've been there, done that. Yeah. Who was that? Motor trucker. Yeah, dog. So many people have fallen victim to these 1099 foreign country owner schemes and scams. It's ridiculous. But yet people say, hey, go to the 1099 company. That's where you guys get all your money at. What about the people that ain't responsible enough to pull back the money for taxes, dog? Y'all ain't talking about that shit. What about the ones that ain't responsible enough to put back that kind of money for the taxes? And then when it's time for tax to come, they in a world full of hurt. And then where y'all at? The same YouTube content creators that told them to go and do these 1099s. Pew! Oh, well, I don't do, what they do is they come on and say, well, you didn't structure it right. I would never did that. But you didn't tell them that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't tell them the proper way to go about getting on with a 1099 company. You know what I'm saying? You need to let them know the right way to do it. Don't just tell them to go out here and get with a 1099 company, because some of them don't know this shit. And they will fall victim in IRS an ass load of money, and they will be in an offer and compromise point, and they will be owing IRS for the rest of their damn life because they listened to you tell them to go grab a 1099 position, and you didn't tell them the proper way that they should be structured to get on with that 1099 company. Fact. Put asterisks in front of your questions. I think ADP might be good. Pro athletes are paid that way. Yeah, ADP is good. ADP is good. I've used ADP before. I like Paychecks, me personally. I just like their portal. I like their setup. It's super simple. ADP is simple too, but ADP doesn't understand interstate commerce. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. ADP does not understand, what time is it? I got you ready to go, y'all. ADP doesn't I got a few more minutes. ADP doesn't understand interstate commerce, okay? They look at it like whatever state that your business is licensed in is the state that you pay taxes into, okay? So if your driver lives in Michigan, but your company is established in North Carolina, your driver that lives in Michigan with ADP needs to pay North Carolina taxes. Wrong, okay? We're part of interstate commerce. They pay taxes in the state where they reside. They don't pay taxes in the state where the company is at, okay? And they don't understand that with ADP, okay? So just to let y'all know that. I've tried ADP twice and they could never get that part right, ever. Simply get an accountant to start out with as a contractor. It is good to get an accountant, okay? Don't try to bookkeep your shit yourself. I would suggest you get an accountant, somebody to watch over your stuff, absolutely. Which would be part of my pit downfalls in 2020 when I talk about fleet building. Yeah, accountant. The greatest thing about trucking to me, you have the option to be independent. You have the option to be a company driver. You have the options to see the world. You have a chance of making some really good money if you're financially sound outside of trucking. Trucking is a great paying job as long as you don't come into trucking with a gajillion dollars worth of debt or a gajillion dollars worth of lifestyle expenses that you have. But trucking is very profitable, okay? Once again, another tool, another tip I'm gonna get, or another clue I'm gonna give y'all in 2020 when I talk about fleet building. I'm gonna tell y'all how I have turned trucking into something similar to real estate. I'll talk about that in 2020 though. Pretty dope. If you do go, hold on, what somebody say here? If you do go to 1099 company, you should be the one paying for everything. Fuel, truck, payment, maintenance. Exactly. Absolutely. If I get an EIN number and business bank account, how would that help me far as taxes and write-offs? Because you won't be paying as a W-2 worker, okay? You would be paying taxes based off of self-employment, and you'd be paying into your own Medicare, Social Security, stuff like that. And that's only at like 12.7%, opposed to as a W-2, it's like 25%, 35% withholding. Why do you think that companies like having W-2 employees or IRS gives tax breaks to companies that have W-2 workers? The reason why is because They get a bigger cut. IRS gets a bigger cut opposed to an independent contractor. That's why IRS loves W-2 workers, because they make more money off of that. They do. Loco Paco, you separate business from personal. Yeah. That's some really good people in here giving y'all some really, really good information outside of me. Like I said, I know what I know, okay? Do I know it all? No, but I just know what I know. You know what I mean? And what I know, I let y'all know. And I don't want to see y'all fall victim to things that will hurt you. I mean, it will. As an independent contractor with an LLC and EIN and business account is a must, or you get your paycheck on your fuel card. Yeah, even some companies still will give you your paycheck on a fuel card. You know, even with you having your EIN number, that's just a company thing. But yeah, some of them still will do that. Me personally, if I don't have to get it onto a fuel card, then I prefer not to. I think that's why Cali is pushing the AB5BS. It could possibly be, man, because so many people probably are in trouble as far as in the trucking industry with taxes, and that's a common thing in trucking for independent contractors or these people who get in these 1099 company positions, is to be in tax problems. Hey man, listen, I talked to y'all for longer than an hour. It was only supposed to be an hour. I apologize that this ran over an hour. I hope I was able to give y'all some very informative information. Yeah, if you are interested and you are a team with, I know it's got to be teams out there, okay? I just know there's got to be teams out there. We got so many mega carriers falling off the map, okay? Going out of business. Celadon, if you were a Celadon driver, okay, or was at Celadon and you was a team and you right now sitting at home, trust me, I won't have this truck ready until mid-January anyway, okay? So you got time to spend at home with your family. Plus, it takes about 2 weeks for the paperwork to get all wrapped up for UPS Freight to get it approved. But if you're a Celadon driver, you're misplaced, you was a team driver, or you was a team truck, contact us. Contact us. You will like it here as a team. Any team out there that is looking for something more consistent, something more drop and hookish, you guys will like this, okay? Like I said, I hardly hear from my teams. I have 4 teams. I hardly hear from any of my teams. I hear from my solo drivers because they're doing more sitting, but my teams I hardly hear from. I talk to them. They fucking love it, okay? They don't want to be anywhere else. So if you are a team or you know of a team that is looking for a place that they can call home with mostly 90 to 98% drop and hook, this is a good spot for you with low cost, with low fixed costs. I went over the numbers earlier. If you got in here late, you didn't catch them, watch the video again when it renders. I kind of went over the numbers. We're talking about $312.35 a month for insurance, pre-pass, and your ELD. Okay, that breaks down to $72.63 per week for the fixed costs on your insurance, your ELD, and your pre-pass. All right, tolls is paid for, plates is paid for, IFTA is paid for, your truck payment is $780 a week. Our fee is $600 for a team. Like, that is under $1,500 a week, under $1,500 a week fixed costs. All right, for a team truck. Like, I think that's great. I think that's great. But to each their own. You choose the path, whatever you want to go. But we do have a team truck that is open. If anybody knows of anybody that wants to do it, or if you're a team, please get at us. You can contact us, email us, info@drive4pmg.com, or you can give us a call. Number is, let me get my number here, 833-525-4764. Keep in mind, I only have 1 truck that is available, okay? In 2020, I'm probably not going to add any more trucks for 2020. I think that what we're going to do is just flatline for 2020, stick with what we have, and then in 2021, then we're going to double the fleet size, okay? So I think that's where we're going to be. So if it is something that you want to do, you need to get in now, because I can tell you right now, by the time February comes, my trucks are pretty much going to be locked in, and I won't have any more openings unless somebody decides that they are going to quit. All right. If somebody quits, of course, I'll come on and say that I have another truck open. But that's what I got going for y'all. I mean, listen, y'all be safe. Have a safe Merry Christmas, a safe New Year's. Bring in 2020 a lot better than what you've been doing the last decade, because it's a new decade, okay? Remember that. It's a new decade, okay? Somebody said I need a team. I thought they was about to say they are a team. I'm going to say contact us. But bring in the next decade, the next 10 years better than you did the previous 10 years. Be profitable. 2020, to me, in my eyes, my New Year resolution is going to be just staying stable, okay? Just staying stable, and then in 2021, we're going to pop that cherry. Okay, we're going to pop that cherry. We're going to double in the fleet size in 2021. Just 2020, we just want to maximize profit. As Nipsey Hussle would say, 2020 for us is going to be all money in, no money out. All money in, no money out. And if you guys want to follow that same New Year's resolution, feel free to. All right, so 2020, man, y'all be safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Like, be unsafe as always. Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners. And we winning right here at Trucking with Loshawnparks. Share this video out to anybody on your Facebook. Hit the like button on your way out the door. I would appreciate it, okay? I know y'all ain't been hitting it since y'all been in here. So hit it on the way out, okay? On the way out, tap the like button real quick, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you putting the video up low. And I appreciate y'all for watching. And safe holidays. Till 2020. Salute.